6:14, time now for business news, and we say good morning to Mike. Mike, we made it. It is Friday. It is Friday, just before the weekend. And of course, as usual, the gas prices, we've seen them climbing, and they're climbing again, and it continues over the weekend as well.
Yeah, this has been a trend, hasn't it, Tammie? Good morning. That gas prices have been going up this week. The market has been seeing a higher price for oil and a wholesale price for gasoline, which has been going up as well. But the problem here is, again, what this does to the everyday driver and the transportation costs of everything, and does this just continue to fuel inflationary pressures? Because it makes the cost of pretty much doing anything get more expensive. And this is, what you were talking about just yesterday with, Sid was talking about this again, about the Bank of Canada raising interest rates to slow the economy and bring prices down. Does, raising interest rates do anything to affect really the price for gasoline? No, it's about supply and demand. And it's, we're getting hit on all sides here with a rising cost of living and now higher borrowing costs. Of course, the big winners, if you will, from the rising price for gasoline is the energy companies. They're on pace for a record-breaking year for profitability and sales because price goes up. The profit margin doesn't change. It goes up in lockstep. So they make more money as the price goes up. And who else benefits, Tammie, from rising gasoline prices? Governments. Governments. Because the HST is the tax on the tax on the tax, so to speak. So what are we hearing from Ontario? Higher revenue, on pace for a budget surplus for all things. And we're hearing that from Alberta, the federal government too. The books are good because there's a lot of revenue coming in from an economy that is still growing, and they're getting a lot more revenue from gas prices. So it's just making everything more expensive. It doesn't slow down. I got a note from Frankie yesterday about the price for lettuce right now because it's elevated because there was a lousy year in California because of drought, and transportation costs. Cauliflower's $5 a head again.
It's just very sad when you walk into a
raising
grocery
interest
store.
raising interest rates doesn't do anything to affect that. What it does affect is the housing market, the cost of rent, and all these other things that are more interest rate sensitive.
Right. And if I'm not wrong, I think that this may be on point with one of the highest jumps that we've seen in less than a week when it comes to gas, because
that sounds about right.
Yeah,
that sounds right.
20 cents.
Yeah. If not, it's close.
It's
close, right? When we did see the price for oil earlier this summer spike, and then it subsequently cooled down. But during that initial run up, the price was going up pretty much every day.
All right. Well, I asked you earlier if you were surprised about this news, and you were like, absolutely not. But Elon Musk completes the Twitter takeover, and what does he do? Cleans house.
Yep, the executives are gone. First thing he did, and there's still talk that he's going to fire a whole bunch of other Twitter employees. That was what he was reportedly telling investors, that 75% of the workforce would be gone. The bird is freed. And he's calling himself what? The chief twit? He walks in with the kitchen sink yesterday or something like that. It's just that, we're making a big deal out of Twitter, which, from a ranking standpoint, it's not exactly the biggest social media platform. Facebook is still number one. Instagram's up there too. Twitter is, its own little ecosystem of social media chatter. But is it worth $44 billion? I don't know. Elon Musk got the money to do it, and there's just question. He wants to open it up to, to more free speech. But what does that mean? Right. You can just say anything you want. I mean, they're kind of at that point now, and people don't like that. So I don't know. It's just one of these deals. We'll see where it goes. I'm just maybe going to take an outsider's perspective for a little while on this.
All right. Your favorite story of the week. Moving on to Amazon. Yes. We don't have a lot of time, unfortunately, but Amazon, they've put out a warning about holiday sales.
Yeah, saying the slowest sales growth forecast in the company history, but this is just, again, consumer spending slowing down as the global economy slows down and people are looking at higher borrowing costs. Amazon stock is down 14% here pre-market trading. And we're looking at Apple. Apple had a record quarter. Go figure. Surprise, surprise. Apple made $20 billion in profit, $80 billion in sales. Best latest quarter in company history. They're forecasting a little bit of a slowdown, but Apple seems to weather the storm. Oh, quickly, Tammie, yesterday we saw Facebook drop 25% on the company's earnings. Mark Zuckerberg too worried about the metaverse and not so much on the mainline social media platforms.
On reality. All right. Oh, my goodness. That's
virtual reality.
Virtual reality. All right.
But the reality is a lot of people lost a lot of money on the share price.
25%. All right. Thank you very much, Mike, for that. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
All dressed up, I hope, for Halloween. All right.